Hey travelers, Mag here on the second of 2 days exploring the downtown Osaka area. We've got about 5 hours to be able to kill this morning between now and when I've got to go take that test, and then after that, the clock is finished and we're heading on back into the mountains. But between here and there, I have another set of really fun looking geocaches identified. I skipped out on DDR yesterday, so we're gonna make that happen. And we're gonna see if we can find a few other fun things along the way. So let's take one more day to explore this area around Osaka Station. Come on, let's go.
Yesterday, getting off the bus in front of Osaka Station, I made my way west to the confluence of 3 rivers. With all of the geocaches successfully cleared off my map in that direction, this time around I decided to head north, pursuing the listings I hadn't had a chance to check out yet.
I've always been a bit of an early riser, and that really works to my advantage here, because I know that this city is going to get moving in about an hour or two, and there are going to be crowds of people just like there were yesterday. But for now, as you can see, they're all still sleeping. So without wanting to burn any daylight, we're gonna get out there and find as many of these geocaches as we can before the muggles start to push us out of some of these ground zeros.
The World Expo is on its way to Osaka in 2025, and construction to support the event has already begun. It forces me to take the long way around to get to where I'm trying to go.
I'm trying to imagine being a part of this, any part of this. I'm pretty sure I'd be the weakest link in the chain. They would bring down the whole pyramid here. Sorry guys.
Almost there. The first ground zero is just around the corner, waiting for me to discover.
Looks like it's time for a little game of chutes and ladders. As you recall with this game, chutes are bad. They always bring you down and you lose progress. The ladders, however, they always carry you right to where you want to be.
Traffic starts to pick up around me as the city rises for another day.
It's only been an hour since we got started off this morning, and already the city has become fully awake. We're standing here between the main road and the train station, and there's been people all about. But it's all about that timing. And right now, with that bicycle passing, that's the last muggle between me and stepping over here. Score another find.
Over the years, I have crisscrossed this area of Osaka numerous times, but there's always a new path for me to discover. This time, I scope out the area around Nakatsu Station, one hop away from Umeda.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies, ashes, we all make the find. Success.
There are certainly more businesses, like shops and restaurants, to see along the main road, but I much prefer the back streets. Those are the places where if you pay attention, you might just discover a hidden gem or two.
You can just never be sure when you're gonna find a nice little back alley like this that just takes your breath away. Well, you can certainly cover a lot more ground driving in a car through a city like this, oh, but good luck finding parking. I've always enjoyed being able to walk it on foot when it's realistic, because you can see so much more of those little details that way. Those things you'd fly right by in an automobile because hopefully you're paying attention to traffic and pedestrians and bicycles. But on foot, you can take the time to ooh and ah at all those local sites. And I am really enjoying this. The high road, the low road, and the through road. There are so many options for me to take right here, but I always prefer the road that brings me right to the geocache I'm looking for, and that's always the one I'm gonna take. Yeah, we are rocking through these today.
Now I make my way north to the Yodo River, but getting there is proving to be quite the challenge.
Oh, so close, and yet still so far away. I've been trying to get up on this bridge for a minute now, but I haven't found the right approach. Finally, I have that staircase over there to get up on. But even though it's right there, I mean, it's right there, it's still not all that close. I can't go down this way at all. That's a no-go. It's gonna take me around the other side and off somewhere else. Instead, I've gotta go all the way down that street to that park you see, and then come all the way around to the left and back around to that bridge. But I'm not giving up on it now, especially not when I can taste victory right there.
Down the street I go, hopeful that I'll see the path I'm looking for when I turn the corner to the left.
Even that was rather deceptive. As you can see, the path I thought was going to bring me there. Not giving up yet though. We're just going to keep going around this construction project. We're getting up on that bridge. This is happening. I suppose I should have stopped to read the map right here at this intersection rather than ignoring it, because it would have saved me the trip all the way over here just to verify that path wasn't possible. Now, looking at this map with the "You Are Here" dot, that is actually the bridge I saw. And when I come up around this, I'll have a path to get up there. It's all right, a little extra exercise, am I right?
Had I come just a little bit further under this bridge the first time, I would have seen this pathway leading up. Through a process of trial and error though, I did eventually find my way and was ecstatic to finally be ascending. Seeing this construction site from above, it's no wonder I was having a hard time finding the right way. This is still not looking good though. The cache is coming up in just a few hundred feet.
The banks of the Yodo River. This is my northern boundary, come out of Osaka, Umeda. Once I cross the rest of the way over this bridge, I'm gonna hang right and come right back over on the other side. Now I was more than a little worried with this construction project I had to fight my way through, that this geocache was gonna be inaccessible. But I was already working my way across the bridge and I figured I might as well have a go of it. And sure enough, luck is on my side because it is actually just outside the boundaries. Thank goodness.
This impressive stretch of greenery spread out below the bridge I'm standing on is known as the Yodogawa Riverside Park. Impressively, this park spans the entirety of the bank of the Yodo River as it flows its way through the city of Osaka. As Japan's first national river park, this green space is accessible 24 hours a day. Guests are encouraged to visit whenever they want to do so.
It's kind of surprising to me that this beautiful park along the banks of the river here in the city has basically nobody in it. I got this place to myself, but I suppose it shouldn't surprise me all that much as there's very little shade to be found in this park except for this edge of the walking path I'm on, very intentionally by the way, and it's hot as can be out here today. I would suspect that most people that are outside because they have to be, not because they want to be. But you know me, there's more geocaches to be found, and so they shall be.
It's a 3/4 mile walk to my next target and the bridge to cross back across the river.
Well, this is a pretty cool surprise. Coming up to this ground zero, there was this honeycomb patterning on my GPS satellite imagery, and I thought, oh well, it must be some kind of resolution error. But now that I'm here, that's exactly what it is. It's a honeycomb pattern all across the ground. It looks really cool, by the way, on that satellite imagery. That's legit.
Unfortunately, while this makes for a pretty cool looking ground zero on the GPS, it also makes it a very difficult place to search, with all these rocks as potential hiding spots.
Darn, I guess I'm gonna have to call this one. I've been searching this ground zero for, I don't know, the better part of 30 minutes now, and while I don't want to give up, it's listed as a regular, and those are hard to come by. This one is really throwing me for a loop. The satellite images, I'm almost certain that it's in this hexagon I've been focusing on. This heat is absolutely brutal out here, and standing on these stones is like being on the frying pan. After about half an hour of that, I gotta go get something else to drink. I'm all out of liquid. It's all right, a few more caches between me and the end of my route for the day.
The Yodo River, which we find ourselves crossing for the second time today, is actually the largest of the 4 rivers that flows its way through Osaka. The course of this flowing pathway was a key factor in the placement of Japan's ancient capital city, Heian-kyo, now better known as Kyoto.
It's been too long since I've made a find. Since we got across the Yodo River, it was a long walk all the way out to that hexagon without any luck. Fortunately, as soon as we got back across the other bank, back in business. Just a few more now between us and a little bit of rest.
My first order of business is to find something to drink before continuing down the road.
2 words put together that lead to a great feeling. DNF, redemption. I came by this spot yesterday, could not successfully locate this cache, but coming back today with a fresh set of eyes, I was able to do what I couldn't do then. Much easier than I thought it was going to be this time around. Yes, love it.
This is now my 3rd time in just 1 day passing through this way. When I arrived here yesterday though, with Osaka Castle due to close in less than an hour, I had no time to take in the sights. By the time I had already made it back from the castle, the sun had gone down and the city had set down into darkness. This time, however, I was able to catch the sights that I had zoomed by yesterday. As you can see for yourself, there is quite a bit to take in along this stretch of the Tosohori River. The river flows directly around a small island with bridges passing over it. Surprises hidden from the automobiles passing above await travelers on foot. So many geocaches to be found and so little time to do it in. But that's not going to stop us from doing our best.
track down as many of these little things as we can.
The biggest surprise waiting for me to discover it over here was the historical site of the Dojima Rice Exchange. During the Edo period, this had been the center of Japan's system of rice brokers. And if that doesn't sound like a very big deal to you, think about it this way. At that time, soldiers and lords alike were not paid money, but instead rice, the currency of the land.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You can never tell when your journey through the city is going to lead you through a magical garden path just like this. How cool is this, right?
This has been quite the morning of geocaching, much more productive than I would have given it credit for. But it looks like our time is almost at an end, just one more ahead.
That's it, time to put the GPS down, our last find of the trip. We have now cached a very wide circle around Osaka Maeda, heading out west to start, coming all the way around to Osaka Castle and then cutting back in last night. And then this morning we took the opposite direction and we moved back around from the other side, and now we've pretty much finished everything on the map, but a few multis and puzzles I'm not going to touch, a few that have DNF histories, and beside that, as you can see, we've made good progress working our way through this map around the Osaka area. Now it's time to do a little bit of DDR, grab some delicious lunch, can't wait to see what we get, and then that's it.
For the walk back, I hop on to one of the back roads so I can use the shade of the buildings to keep cool. My sense of anticipation grows when I spot the Ferris wheel because I know I'm almost there.
This is our winner, round one. Inextricable Fate has this app on his phone that locates all the Dance Dance Revolution machines around Japan, and there's one right here in the round one, and we're about to go check it out for ourselves.
While you watch me absolutely rock out to a couple of songs here on the map, I want to explain what Dance Dance Revolution is and what it means to me. Released in Japan in 1998 and in the United States the following year, this was a revolutionary way to play games in arcades. Up until this point, all you could expect to see was something where you use a joystick and click a bunch of buttons. But instead, Dance Dance Revolution had you getting on the mat and doing physical activity, moving with the rhythm of the game. I never went to the arcade that much when I was in the United States, but here in Japan, game centers and arcades are a big deal. You can find them all over the place in the big cities, and it is a great place to go hang out with friends and have some fun for a few hours. The Marines and I would head down to Naha on the weekends, get a hostel, and in the evenings we'd play Dance Dance Revolution to shut down the arcade. The arcade we spent most of our time at was 300 yen for as much gaming as you could do every hour, which meant in about 5 or 6 hours we'd spend about $15 and play all night long. As you can see for yourself, it is a very active style of gaming, so you are getting quite the workout while you're here on the mat. Back in the States, I had my own mats in every version of DDR they put out for the console systems. When Inextricable Fate learned about this, it was game on, and we would spend countless hours on the weekends playing against each other at DDR. I'm more than a little bit rusty now compared to then, but I still very much enjoy getting on the mat and playing. As you can see, don't do a halfway bad job at it.
Man, playing DDR in Japan is apparently a different game altogether. Everybody that was there, except this guy, was all playing on the most difficult settings, and they were all getting double A's on everything. They made that look easy. And then I step up to the mat, put it on difficult, I'm scoring C's, B's. I actually got 1 A, but mostly C's and B's. And they're like, at least he's trying. And you know what? It was a lot of fun, but man, I got a long way to go if I'm gonna compete with any of the people I saw there.
Despite having crisscrossed my way around the station over the last couple of days, I still managed to discover a park I hadn't been to yet. It's pretty impressive to me that in the midst of this urban sprawl, they are able to hide so many great parks for visitors to come and explore here in downtown Osaka.
Well, what can I say besides I just couldn't resist. I finished up my test a little early, so I decided to come out here and find just one more geocache. Seriously though, this is the last one. It was only like a mile out from the station. Now it's time to head back over to Osaka Station and get ready to load up on our bus, but hey, there's always just one more, am I right?
Make sure to drop into the comments and let me know what you think about this adventure that we've had through Osaka. Looks like that's gonna be a wrap for us. We have managed to come full circle in about 24 hours since we got off the bus, bringing ourselves right back in front of Osaka Station to finish things off. And it has been a wild 2 days here in Osaka. We got off the bus, immediately made our way around town, geocaching our way through everything we could find, and all the way over to Osaka Castle, just barely making it there before the deadline to get up to the top of the castle and see the city spread out below us. This morning we woke up bright and early before the city was even up and moving, and we did exactly what we did yesterday, pursuing the geocaches. We didn't have an opportunity to go after them. I managed to make it to my test on time, and you'll be happy to know I passed with flying colors! Mission accomplished for us here in Osaka. Now it's time to head back to Shikoku, get into the mountains, relax a little bit, and get ready for the next step. Thank you guys for joining me as I took 2 days to bring you on a tour down here in the Osaka Umeda area. I am so excited to continue bringing adventures like this to you again and again as we continue to explore Japan. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and I'll see you out on the trails.